Duel Nature by Iken. Chapter 5. Penalty Flag. Twilight woke up in a bright white room. The first thing she noticed was that her reek of bleach had disaffected. She tried to open her eyes further, but the light sent a splitting pain through one side of her head, and she squeezed them shut again. Now that her head hurt, every other part of her body apparently decided it would be all right for them to join in as well. She groaned miserably as she felt the chorus of aches and pains begin. Good morning, Twilight. Twilight opened her eyes as tight slivered that she could, looked towards the voice. As far as she could tell, she was being addressed by some fuzzy white blob, an annoyingly cheerful fuzzy white blob. How are you this morning? Twilight groaned again. Terrible. The fuzzy blob chuckled. Can't say I'm surprised. You were pretty beat up when they brought you in. I'm Nurse Helping Hoof, by the way, but most patients just call me Nurse or Helping Hoof. It's up to you. You're at Canterlot Castle Infirmary, and before you ask, you've been in here since they brought you in 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago? Yep. You've been asleep for coming up on 36 hours now. Princess Celestia will be so glad to hear you finally woken up. She's such a sweetheart. Wanted to know the minute you came to. Before I go, can I get you anything? Extra pillow? Painkillers, moaned Twilight. Lots and lots of painkillers. Lovely chuckled. Well, I could see what I could do. Rest up, and we'll let the princess know you're back amongst the living. The mayor walked out, leaving Twilight with only a softly beeping machine and her thoughts to keep her company. Memories of her fight with Luna began to return in drips and dabs. The things she said, she didn't feel that way about Luna at all. What made her say those awful things? She could only remember how angry and frustrated she felt. And now in the harsh light of day, those feelings seemed to be pretty petty and ridiculous. Twilight passed an unhappy hour wallowing in her misery, racking her brain to try to think of some way, any way she could convince Luna to forgive her. Nothing she came up with was remotely sufficient. She had just mentally sorted it out, standing outside her window, holding up a boombox, into the quickly growing category of terrible ideas that would never work, when Princess Celestia entered with helping hoof and toe. Twilight, I'm so relieved you're all right. When they brought you and Captain Reynolds in, I wasn't sure there was any permanent damage, or even if you wake up at all. Celestia went, a thought benefit concerning doing anything that might exacerbate her injuries. Captain Reynolds was hurt. Is he? He's all right. He woke up yesterday. There was some pretty bad damage to his horn, and it'll be a while before he's casting spells again, though. Helping Hoof chimed in. Celestia mentally added, a few basic property rules with itinerary staff. To her, already overdue long list, let the moment pass without comment. I've already discussed matters with him. Captain Reynolds will be given disability benefits and pay until such time he is fit for guard duty again. There's an excellent outpatient facility in Pensacola, and I suspect a few months at the beach are exactly what he needs, now more than ever. Well, he always talked about buying a boat when he retires. I hope he finally get those sailing lessons he's wanted, said Twilight. I suspect he will. When I left, he was already sorting out ship names. I believe his is a current partner is Serenity, and perhaps it was Tranquility. Something along those lines, said Celestia. Now helping Huff, there's a few things I'd like to discuss with Twilight in private. She might look in on some of the other pieces. Oh, naturally. I'll leave you two alone. Just best if you need anything, said Helping Huff as she left the room, leaving Princess with Twilight. A quiet heavy descended over them. Twilight was left wondering if she should be herself, but the Princess beat her to it. What the hell were you thinking, Twilight? What in equestrian possessed you to do something so stupid? Twilight opened her mouth to respond, but somehow couldn't find any words. Celestia went on undeterred. Years of progress. Years where I watched my sister grapple with her demons, encouraged her to extend herself beyond what she thought she could do. Held her as she cried over setback after setback. All undone in half an hour. And for what, Twilight? Tell me what? Tell me why would you do something like this? She challenged me. She humiliated me. She tried to kill me. 1,000 possible answers ran through Twilight's head. Worst part was that she knew exactly how hard life had been for Luna. She had not been close to Luna as she was to her teacher. They had been friendly terms. spending an occasional evening together talking about the latest ideas coming out of the advanced magic research laboratories, or just listening to Luna's stories about how she came up with original ideas for her constellations. It was that familiarity that Twilight had drawn upon when she reached into the most hateful parts of her mind and pulled out the comments knew would hurt Luna the most. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I wanted to win. She trailed off as she heard exactly how pathetic that sounded. It doesn't matter what you intended for your acts to do. What was at stake that could possibly justify that sort of sadism? I wanted you to learn how to fight in order to protect yourself. That is the only excuse for violence I am willing to accept. Your training is over. You will not set a hoof inside that ship again. Do I make myself perfectly clear? This time tomorrow you will come to the throne room, and Luna will decide how you are to be punished. She continued. But till I began, only for Celestia to hold up a hope to cut her off. That is not up for discussing. I am aware that Luna is not blameless in all of this. Both of your behaviors were completely unacceptable. But the betrayal you committed against her is a sort of breaks his trust that can destroy a friendship. Forever! Shouted Pinkie Pie, bursting forth from her cabinet full of medical supplies. Pinkie looked over at the two ponies who were now staring at her. Oh, hi, Princess! Hi, Twilight! Don't mind me. I'll sort myself out. It bounced out the door without another word. Pinkie's entrance momentarily derailed Celestia's train of thought. After a moment, she decided that nothing more needed to be said for the time being, and turned to leave. At the door, she stopped. I never thought the day would come I'd be safe to call you my student, she said without turning, feeling the knife in her chest give one final twist. Twilight could only watch her mentor walk away as she lay back in her bed. The various bruises and sprains she had suffered no longer seemed significant next to the pain in her heart. The next day, Twilight entered the throne room in a despondent mood. She half expected the chamber to be empty, except for Luna herself, but the court was in full swing, with both princesses on their thrones discussing different matters with their subjects. Ponies milled about around, talking to one another along the sides of the room, leaned up against the thick marble pillars and decorated with gorgeous murals commemorating the two royal sisters' greatest strengths and accomplishments. Even with all that was on her mind, the sight of magnificent architecture took her breath away, as it always had. She looked down again, just in time to see Luna's eyes come up from the ponies he had been speaking with, and spot her. Luna's nose wrinkled a grimace, like she had been bitten into something revolting for a brief moment, before turning her attention back to the farm pony. She was speaking about his inability to get his concerns taken seriously by the local weather teams. Twilight stifled her urge to return and flee the room, possibly the entire kingdom in that moment. Screwing up her courage, she resolved not to shrink from the consequences of her actions, whatever they ended up being. Ah, Twilight, you arrived. Thank you for coming. Please approach, said Celestia as she finished speaking to a trio of Pegasi. Twilight stepped forward and found herself alone with the princesses. She never really been comfortable being the center of attention. The circumstances of her audience only enhanced her discomfort. Twilight sparkled, Luna began. You stand accused of assaulting the throne, sedition, and treason. The usual penalty for such things is life imprisonment or execution. And even taking into consideration your heroic service to the kingdom in the past, a lifetime exile would not be out of the question if you are found guilty. Twilight's jaw dropped. This was far worse than she anticipated. Luna, please, was all she was able to get out before the princess interrupted her again. Do not address us so formally, Princess, Twilight sparkled. It's a privilege we only reserve for our friends, said Luna. Still, she continued, we are aware that just as our blood is upon thy hooves, our hooves are tainted as well by the violence we committed against thee. Princess, I am so sorry. I don't know what came over me, but I don't believe anything I said. You're not subpar or inferior or anything like that at all. You're one of the most wonderful ponies I've ever met. Even if you had to send me away, please don't think I ever hated you. How could I hate you? You're. Twilight broke down sobbing, overcome with the idea of never seeing her friends and family again. I had typically hurt a pony who had once viewed her as a friend and confidant. We, I am sorry as well, Twilight Sparkle, said Luna. I should have been more considerate of your feelings. I did not realize you would see my accents as mockery and disdain. They are not intended as such. She paused a moment. Also, I probably wouldn't have let you suffocate. But I saw what release you after you fell unconscious. But I too am familiar with making mistakes when lasting out in anger. Twilight looked at the princess. Through her tears you could see a conflicted look on her face. Still, listen, Luna, if this is the sort of pain that comes from opening our hearts to friendship with mortal ponies, they would have preferred to have no part in it. We have no need of it. Right now Celestia sits uncomfortably on her throne. But as to your charges, Twilight closed her eyes and braced herself for Luna to hand down a sentence. That moment, she found herself hoping for death. This would be less cruel than forcing her to live apart from every place she had ever loved. We'll hold to our word and pardon you for them. Twilight opened one eye, not certain she believed what she just heard. We promised before the mass that we would pardon you for any crimes committed upon us in the course of the fight. We are not the sort of pony to go back on our word. Luna's eyes lit up with rage for a moment, before she brought herself back down under control. No matter how much we would like to. In all honesty, we would prefer that you just leave and allow us to put this all behind us. Twilight roused herself from her shocked stupor. Princess Luna, she began, but Luna was looking out to the side of the room, feigning disinterest. Thank you, Princess. I'll just... She trailed off and turned out to go. This didn't make sense. She wasn't facing any charges for her actions. She was, by account, getting off more than lightly she deserved. So why was she still so upset and disappointed? Twilight, hold. Twilight turned to slow Celestia's voice. What now, sister? You have more than failed with your apprentice's case. Oh, I agree. You are more than fair. Too much more than fair by my reckoning, said Celestia. Twilight. She turned to address her suddenly terrified student. I will accept my sister's judgment, if she wishes to pardon the slights committed against her as she may. Celestia's usual neutral expression morphed into the slightest hint of a mischievous smile. However, it has been brought to attention that, once your battle with my sister brought you down to the grounding field around the ring, the gymnasium suffered a nigh catastrophic damage due to your magic. Well, began Twilight, suddenly struck by the urge to choose her words very carefully. I suppose we both caused some damage, but I couldn't tell you who did more. Oh, don't be so modest, Twilight. I have it on good authority that at least one folding chair was destroyed when you picked it up and used it as a bludgeon. Is that correct? Twilight said nothing, so Celestia continued to. Destruction of royal guard property is vandalism, Twilight, and vandalism is punishable by up to 6 months of community service. But, said Twilight, not able to keep up with what was happening. I sentence you to the maximum allowable punishment. 6 months of community service. In fact, I just happen to have the perfect assignment for you. You seem to be in physical combat. My sister has demonstrated a failing of judgment in opponents she is willing to hideously challenge. For the next month, you will be serving as a personal bodyguard. What? Exclaimed Twilight in unison. For the next 6 months, you will stay by her side, protect her from any threats that may arise, as well as following any commands you might see fit to give you. Hopefully, this will teach you that your magical abilities should be used to protect other ponies, rather than heartlessly inflicting pain upon them. But my studies, babbled Twilight. Don't worry, I don't want your new position to distract you from school assignments. Which is why I also hereby suspend you from the academy for the duration of your sentence. No, but you can't. Celestia raised an eyebrow. I think you'll find I just did. I will include all the information pertaining to your new assignment in the very long, detailed letter I'm writing to your parents. Twilight went pale. To my parents? She spoke out. Oh yes, continued the princess. I imagine you'll want to know exactly why your daughter is moving into the palace's servants' quarters. Be sure to pack some warm pajamas, by the way. I told it gets a bit chilly down there. Twilight was now being able to give a coherent response, or taking any action standing there slack-jawed. Luna, however, was much more alert. Sister, I'd rather not, she began. As for you, dear sister, Celestia began over her sister's objection. If anything unfortunate befalls Twilight while she is in your service, I'll be reviewing the circumstances very, very carefully. Do I make myself clear? Crystal clear, sister, but I really have no interest in... You will learn to forgive and tolerate, my dear Luna. Do whatever you need to in order to do so. But I will not see you give up hope on achieving a real and lasting friendship, even if it's only with a mortal pony. She muttered in a voice that was only for Lulu's ears. Now, Twilight, you are dismissed, decreed Celestia's voice her entire court could hear. To her court, except apparently for a single purple unicorn sitting in the thrones, too dumbfounded to move. Twilight, I said you are dismissed. Celestia tried again. This seemed to penetrate Twilight's haze, just enough to get her to stand, and stumbled back the way she came through the doors to the throne room, passing several ponies who had witnessed the entire exchange. One of those ponies, a lesser Bellard from the Providence outside Trondheim, turned to his companion as Twilight left the room to face her new fate. Remind me, never to break one of Princess's phony chows. Side chapter. Pep talk. What do you think you're doing? Said Captain Reynolds as he pulled her away from the ring, where the Princess of the Night in darkness had challenged her to a sparring match. She challenged me to a fight. If I don't accept, she'll pick someone else, and at least I might be able to hold my own against her. Hold your own? She's an alicorn and a freaky goddess. There's no way to fight her. Well, that can't be true. Did you once tell me that the Royal Guard created a secret plan to deal with a rogue alicorn after Nightmare Moon returned? She asked. Reynolds seemed suddenly embarrassed. Secret plan? Well, yes, we have one. But it's the kind of thing that sort of needs no basis, he stammered. Look what's happening. I think that's secretly. Reynolds sighed. Fine. It's extremely classified information. I'll need you to keep it a secret, even from the princesses. Cross my heart, hope to fly, stick a cupcake out my eye, said Twilight, going to his familiar Nelson's. Reynolds nodded, sad by his sound mouth. He had once had our young recruit foolishly broke a pinky promise. The recruit had gone missing, only to turn up in an alley behind an arcade in Baltimore, unconscious, covered in cake batter and streamers. When asked, he was unable to recall anything that had happened over the last 3 days, but suddenly developed an incredibly fear of confetti. All right, Twilight, here's our plan, said Reynolds as Twilight produced a quill and parchment and prepared to take notes. If Celestia ever learned to turn evil, the entire force makes a rapid, strategic withdrawal to a series of 4 or 5 bunkers to secure some, from the inside. Then we wait for surveyors of the elements of harmony to come and clear everything up. Right, so you prefer support from my friends while we handle it for you? Moral support, absolutely, but not any assistance or resources as such. You run and hide? That's a terrible plan! Yes, that's the main reason we try to keep it a secret, actually, said Reynolds. Do you have a plan for dealing with other kinds of things? Like, what if Discord got out again? Said Twilight. Run, hide, wait for the bears, decided the captain. Sounded like something he had said many times before and committed to memories. You know? That should also be the plans for of any Sentai writer series, kaiju movie, or Magical Girl series, Dragon Ball, or any of those type of shows for the police and army. Run, hide, and let the guys with the superpowers take care of it. Or, at the very least, get the civilians out and let the superheroes handle it. Well, let's collateral damage. What about the Changelings attack again? Oh, well, that would be different. Your brother would empower the city's magical defenses again. Twilight perked up at the Reynolds' words. Then we would all run away and hide until the bears came and fixed everything. Twilight pressed the hub against her forehead to try to prevent the headaches he felt coming on. Well, what if the elements aren't available? Or one of the bearers can't use the element for some reason? Is it really smart to put all your eggs in one basket like that? Asked Twilight. Hey, give us some credit. Of course we thought of that. That's why there's an emergency backup plan. The elements are available. Yes! Backup plan! Perfect! What's the backup plan? Asked Twilight. You run high into bunkers. Wait for Celestia to fix whatever's going on. Somewhere else triumphantly. Again, it should be the backup plan of any type of shonen anime when the characters could practically drop nuclear bomb key blasts. So Twilight can no longer hide her frustration. Well, why do we even have a royal guard then? If all you do is run away and hide at the first sign of trouble. To keep crime down, of course. And if I may say, we do an excellent job. The crime rates are very low, said Reynolds. I didn't realize that crime had been such a problem before the creation of the Royal Guard. Oh, it wasn't. Crime rates were just about as low as back then as they are now. Did anything. Rose looked at her like she just asked what was 1 plus 1. We're out patrolling every night, and crime rate is very low. Obviously, what we're doing is working. You can't just assume causation for correlation like that. It's completely specious. That's like saying my old satellites were preventing alicorns from attacking me. I bought a new set last weekend, and now Celeste Luna wants to fight me, said Twilight. Rel seemed very cynical. How would that even work? You wouldn't. They're just old bags. But as soon as I stop carrying them around, Luna challenges me. So by your logic, you must have been keeping her away from me the whole time, right? Wells considered this. So what you're saying is, you want me to stall Luna while you run home and get your old saddlebags? No, they're just saddlebags. Why can't you? How can you? Twilight trailed off, her eye beginning to twitch. Um, if you folks would pardon me, I need a laugh break. Are you sure? You sound like you could be really useful right about now. Twilight's mouth worked, but no words came out. She sputtered helplessly before I seemed to rest over her as she turned towards the ring. Thank you for the offer, Captain. But now I think I would rather risk having a goddess unmake me from existence with raw energy creation than to continue this discussion. She walked away from the confused captain, who had taken off his own saddlebags and was examining it closely. Waited up in front of Luna's stairwell's direction, but seemed disappointed when nothing happened. Twilight stepped into the ring and approached Luna. There was no way anything that was about to happen could be worse than what she had just endured.